Mr. Martian.
Hello.
Hello.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. I can hear
Beautiful.
you, see you. Man, how you doing?
I'm doing well, thank you. It's been probably over a year since I spoke to you, maybe.
Yes, it has been. You're one of the first few repeat guests on I Ask No One, and I'm really honored to be.
Oh.
Yes,
I need to send you a new one.
Oh, yeah, with this new record.
I've got 4. Yeah, let me just put that away.
Your room is looking. Your room's looking very good, very nice.
Yeah, I've put some posters up since the last time I saw you, so finally got around to decorating it.
Beautiful. Well, right here, right now, and just right off the top, man, I haven't recorded in, it feels like a year almost. I've been so busy with real estate. I'm here in my new office and getting married in June.
Oh, congratulations. Wow.
Thanks, mate. Appreciate it, man. But hey, Martin Kennedy of All India Radio is right here. A lot of people will be surprised as much of a metalhead that I am and people know me to be. I listen to your work the most, and for a good reason. Wow. So off we go. Yeah, thank you, man. And off we go into your new album cycle, the generator of all infinity, and the new chapter of I Ask No One. So with that, today's quote, eyes ahead, don't turn around. And I feel like I hear that quote here and there in your catalog. Yeah, so that's a very true quote. Yeah.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited to be here again and chat to you.
Rock and roll, Martin. Well, hey, today, not today's fact of the day, but we got the new record coming out September the 16th, Friday, 2022. Martin's got his websites. He's got his social medias on All India Radio. There is the Bandcamp that Martin does an amazing job handling. And the fact on September the 16th, maybe you don't know this, but the record that was released in 1970 on that day was Jimi Hendrix Experience. And that particular record sat on the Billboard for 106 weeks. And it's exactly how long that your new record is going to be on the Billboard 200 for 106
weeks.
Right?
Yeah. The power of positive thinking.
Well, hey, speaking of the 1970s, you were giving away with some of your new record when you'd be mailing it out, from your household to your fans, some 1970s bubblegum. Do you have some of that with you right now?
Yeah, I do. So a little backstory. I bought this packet of bubblegum that, Topps bubblegum, they used to sell them in Star Wars. Every big movie that came out had their own bubblegum. So I bought this. It was unopened, just on eBay, and it was full of these brand new old unopened chewing gum packs. So it's completely sealed. So this is from 1978, and I don't know if you remember the smell of bubble gum, but it's the wax paper. It's got this really evocative smell that just reminds you of childhood. Now, if you want, I can open it and taste it.
Yeah, I think that'd be really, really awesome. I mean, I think you're so 1970s groovy already. There's just take it to the next level.
So let's open this. Oh yeah, that wax paper. That's amazing. I love it. Oh, and it actually still smells like the bubble gum. So, okay. So the bubble gum stuck to the cards. Anyway, these are the cards from Close Encounters. I don't know, your audience will know this film, but it was a big movie, Spielberg movie about UFOs in the 70s, and fantastic movie. Okay, this bubble gum is stuck to this. Kind of lost its smell. You might have your first poisoning and death on a podcast So I'm going to try this bubblegum, first time since 1978. Actually, it's not too bad. It's lost all the gum, the elastic, but it's just like eating sugary wafer. I better not eat it anymore because I might die. But
I love
there you
it,
go.
man. All right. Yeah. Hey, cheers, mate. Woo! So you have your first producer, you have how many records total? Like right now, all indie radio total.
There's 19 studio albums, but then there's a whole bunch more compilations and remixes and things like that. But yeah, 19 proper albums.
Yeah. So this is the first time you're using a producer, Joe Haley, in 17 years. Why the change and why to bring on the producer for this record?
I just needed to give myself a bit of a prod, I think, and try something different. I guess after 19 albums, I was just sick of all. I'd lost a little bit of faith in myself to mix it properly, and I just wanted an outsider's perspective. So I got Joe, a local guy, and I wanted a harder edge for guitar sounds, and he's in a death metal band of all things. So he, I mean, not that this music is anywhere near that, but I just wanted someone who came from that world to put his mark on my album. And I think he did a really good job. And I would go back to him in a flash.
Yeah, you sent me the record a few months ago. It took a little while to get here to Buffalo, New York from Australia, but I tell you, man, you know, I'm turning a lot of people onto your work here in Buffalo, at least, and hopefully some of our viewers, because
thank you.
You got a lot to offer, and it's good for any mood. And this new record, just from you mentioned he's a death metal. That's Joe Haley's a death metal musician. Man, when you kicked in with that riff and that song called Beginning Part 1, the I was like, what's happened? Did you grow your hair back out, or what's going on?
Unfortunately, that's never going to happen. But but yeah, that was a lot of fun to play. Actually, I mean, my indie rock band from the 1990s and the late 80s, we kind of played heavy, not heavy metal music, but we played really heavy guitar music, kind of grunge before it became grunge. So in a way, I'm sort of returning to that vibe, I think.
Yeah. Well, the record's generator of all infinity, and I loved Beginning Part 1. I love it all. In fact, I'm going to include a link below. Martin Kennedy right here, right now, was he did his own little live stream tease of the new record back on, geez, when was that? That was not
3 or 4 weeks ago.
Yeah. Man, I'm selling real estate. I'm on this very computer and this seat at all times. I've been playing that over and over and over.
Oh, thanks.
It's I love it. I love it. And there's parts when you're playing some of that new record, I could tell you're feeling it, and you got your body language on, and you have a skeleton right behind you. You kind of like you play to the skeleton. Where does that come from? Does that just draw some energy?
Yeah, I should have had him in the background there. He's in the closet, literally a skeleton in the closet at the moment. I don't know. For some reason, I bought a skeleton years ago, and I just bring it out sometimes for the hell of it. I don't know. No particular reason. And on Halloween, we leave it out the front for the, to scare the kids off. But yeah,
man,
you were.
I love when creators and musicians, you could see what really kind of ups them when they're playing their music, just these simple things. But dude, that skeleton, I could tell there was something there, and I really liked it a lot, man. But what are you most excited about with this record? 19 studio albums, all sorts of different remix compilations and so on. What stands out about this?
Oh, well. in my mind, it's a little bit of a departure from what's gone before. And I've always worried about what the older fans might think. They're used to a more of a chilled out vibe. But this time and I was kind of heading a little bit in this direction with the last album, when Devin played guitar. But this time I thought, I'm not going to worry about it. I'm just going to do what I want to do and try to bring the fans along with me. And most of them have come along with me anyway. So people who listen to this one looking for an ambient, chilled out vibe aren't really going to get it. I mean, maybe they will. But so it was a chance to do something different and not worry about it, because I'm a bit of a worrywart. So that's why I'm excited. And the artwork, I just absolutely love the artwork of this album. It's by Jesse Jacobi, and I just think it's absolutely wonderful. So that excites me. Always the artwork and the music combination always excite me.
Yes, yeah, it does me too. I mean, I didn't grow up going to vinyl record stores like you did with the big gatefold and the art, and I still respect a good linear note and a good album artwork, that's for sure.
Yeah.
But this guy Jesse Jacobi, how'd you come across him to choose for this particular record?
Instagram, just following on Instagram, we follow each other. And it's funny, the last 5 years, most of the creative people I've met who have been involved with my music, I've met them on Instagram. It's that sort of place. So I went to him and said, can you do some artwork? And he wasn't able to do a commission, but he happened to have that particular one available. And I said, yeah, that's absolutely perfect. So that's how it came about.
It's so trippy, and that is the image, like all the records that you've listened to and that you've loved. You know, you associate that image with what's going on, and what a.
So, I mean, it's metal, it's space rock, it could be ambient. You know, it's just got everything. It's got UFOs.
Martin, it's got tits. It's got some boobies on there too.
Oh, it's got that, yeah. So it hasn't been banned from Instagram or Facebook yet, but I'm sure someone will report it eventually.
Oh, there you go. We got some boobs on an all India radio release.
Yes. Who would have thought that?
Yeah. Well, Jesse Jacobi, I'll include a link to his work below too. They call him Pit of Bones.
That's right.
So between the artist, the Pit of Bones, and you got the death metal producer, you know, we got some nice, beautiful music coming at you. September the 16th, the generator of all infinity coming at you. So Jupiter 26, that was the opening single. And for what reason that particular song, Martin?
That one, why that one? It's one of my favorite songs, and it kind of morphed out of some older songs from an older album. And it's also, I'm not going to say a ripoff, it's influenced by Pink Floyd echoes. You know, that the second side of Pink Floyd album, Metal album, and it's the bit in the middle where it kind of goes all funky, and the guitar chugs along. It's a little bit reminiscent of that, and I've always just loved that song. So it's my little tribute to that, and it's not really single material, but what the hell, it's a single.
Dude, you're talking Echoes, Pink Floyd. That used to be my lullaby every night in college.
Oh, yeah.
And then after college. And by the end of that 25, 26 minute, I'd be asleep. And, you know, when you listen to music at such an early age, or when you first get exposed to it and it just stays with you every single time. I mean, I was camping in the southern tier of New York State here towards the PA borderline. And it was cold and it was creepy, and that middle part where you got the crows cawing and stuff.
Yeah.
Like the exact moment, and that's awesome. We really connect on the Pink Floyd stuff.
Absolutely, yeah. I used to listen to that too, going to sleep on my had a little cassette player next to my bed, and you listen to it so many times, I just know every single little thing that goes on in that song.
Yeah. I mean, those guys, have you ever met Roger or David or any of them?
No.
What would you tell them? What would you ask them?
Oh, I'd probably be so nervous I wouldn't be able to speak, but I would say how much their music has meant to me. I don't know if, I mean, they'd be so used to hearing stuff like that. I don't know if they'd even care. But then if I'd work up the guts to ask Roger or David to write a song for me, or something like that. Of course, it never happened, but you can always dream.
What like musically, what stands out to you about, you're a guitar player. I don't know if you sing, but
Not very well, but I do.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, you have a beautiful voice as it is. I mean, come on. What's yeah, musically, is it the guitar of Gilmour, or is it Wright's keyboard, or is it Waters' song structure? I know it's just the whole thing, and Mason's drumming.
It is the whole thing. Yeah. It's definitely David's voice, his guitar, but Roger's songwriting. Like, I mean, I like Pink Floyd after Roger left, but the songs just are not the same. And I like Roger's solo stuff, but the music is not the same. So it's definitely half of David and half of Roger.
Yeah, we could have an entire episode, and maybe.
Oh, you could.
We maybe at some point we'll just go Pink Floyd, Piper to Dark Side or whatever.
Yeah.
Or Pompeii, talk about Pompeii.
Yeah.
But what a privilege it is for you to contact me. Hey, I got a new record coming out. You want to talk about it? You want to review it? Amazing. And when Metallica, I had to bring some Metallica in here. When Metallica released Hardwired to Self-Destruct in November of 2016, with new records coming out, I always love the buzz around a new record. I always love the first performances of this new record. That's why with the live stream, which again, I'll include below right here, Martin Kennedy of All India Radio. Kirk Hammett, the guitarist, was asked, what's the overall message of Hardwired to Self-Destruct? And he kind of sat back and he was just, probably to be more accepting. And that's always sat with me. And you go back to interviews with bands when the record's coming out. What is this record, or maybe trilogy? Because it is a trilogy of records, right? Yeah. What does it mean to you? What's the overall? Is there an overall arc or message of this trilogy of records?
Not consciously, no. It's kind of the end of a loose trilogy. I think it's just the style of music that started with an album called Space, and it's music. I think I was falling out of love with my music at that point, and I wanted to do something. And again, I've mentioned it, something that I really wanted to do, but the fans might not. So it was kind of the start of that process. And so this is the culmination of all that. It's the culmination, this latest album is the culmination of everything I've done before, all sort of coagulated, it's not the best word, into one album. So there is the ambient chill stuff, there's the heavier guitar stuff, there's the mysterious voices, there's UFOs. So I think I've distilled everything that's come before down into one album. Yeah, that's just all in my head. Whether that actually works like that, I don't know.
Yeah. You talk about UFOs and alien.
It's all stuff I used to love. I used to love that stuff as a kid, and whether or not I really believe in it now, I don't know. But I find it so interesting and so much fun to think about and read about. Whether it's real or not, who knows? Yeah,
that's true. You have a sci-fi art Instagram handle, right? Where you share the art of other people. That's just, I really like it a lot. And I'll include a link to that below as well.
Yeah. All stuff from the 60s and the 70s and the 80s, sci-fi art, book covers and illustrations. love that shit. I really do.
Yeah, me too. Me too. That our first time around with each other on I Asked No One about a year or two ago, that's one question I was kicking myself not asking you was, do you believe? Which you kind of just answered. You believe in aliens. But
I think, yeah, realistically, I probably would say yes, just because of the size of the universe, and there just has to be something out there. But the little green men style aliens that people have been talking about, but no one's ever really got a good photo of, I'm not so sure. But in the bigger picture in the universe, I would say there's definitely some intelligence out there.
Yeah. Well, we have Martin Kennedy, who I call Martian Kennedy, because it's just so.
That's right.
It's so apropos. It's so appropriate, man. You ever see Total Recall, 1990, Arnold Schwarzenegger?
Yeah. I love that film. I remember seeing that at the cinema, and I've never seen it since. But I do remember the woman's head opening up, that scene, and then the little guy inside, or just all this weird imagery. But yeah, that's a great film.
That girl's face who opened.
Yeah.
Very long story short, I was on a reality television show in 2015, and it aired on Oxygen and Bravo. It was called Player Gets Played. And it was me and four girls. And hey, I just went for it. And it was a great experience. We filmed in San Diego and Vegas, but one of the girls in there, her dad's teacher was that woman whose head opened.
Oh wow.
Total Recall.
What a claim to fame. That's really cool.
Yeah, and I'm in a chair right now where it's like Arnold was strapped in. He's just like, and I could recite that whole movie as much as you could recite every bar of Echoes by Pink Floyd. So,
yeah.
Oh God, I could go on forever about Total Recall too. But what's really in right now with aliens is Stranger Things. Are you a Stranger Things fan?
Oh, yeah. Look, I loved the first series, and I've watched about half of the second, so I'm really behind. But I really loved it, and for some reason, I don't know, just something else came up, and I got distracted, and I've never gone back to it. And now the latest one with the buzz around that and the Kate Bush song and everything. So I've got to go back and watch it.
Yeah, they really upped the ante on the latest season. And, I just saw Metallica, my boys, play Buffalo here at the stadium for the first time in 30 years. And to be on the floor there, they finished the set with Master of Puppets. And in the back there, they got Eddie from the show. He's playing Master of Puppets.
Yeah.
And it's like, holy crap, because Stranger Things has introduced young folks to Metallica, and it's also introduced younger people to the 80s and what you love, sci-fi.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
It's generational and just amazing. But going back to the new record, again, dropping September 16th, The Generator of All Infinity. Song titles, how do you come up with them?
I come up with them at the very last moment, like literally at the last moment. And it's usually when I'm under pressure, because I'm not good with words, but when I'm under pressure, I just look at them or listen to them and go bang, bang, bang. Yeah, that's it. So I look at sci-fi pictures again, and I just use them as inspiration. So that's a wolf, like a sci-fi wolf. And so that I looked at that and thought, okay, Wolves of Orion, that's a good name for a song. That'll do. That's how it all comes about.
Yeah, I love that. Wolves of Orion just sounds very, very messy.
Yeah, it does, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yeah. So was your room really messy when you were creating this record? I know you create a record, it gets all messy.
You can't see a lot of the mess because I've disguised it quite well. But it's messy. Ready for a re-clean and revamp, and start the next project hopefully soon.
Nice. Yeah, you really create, and I'm really into that, man.
I can't stop. Help me. Someone help.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I love the new record so much, man, and I love this one too.
Thanks. Thank you.
You know, Deep Blue. I love Deep Blue. Um, you know, I was naming some records. I had some friends contact me. Oh, what should I listen to? All India Radio. And you mentioned the Space record. That's right there at the top for me, and Permanent Evolutions. And there's that indulated with the weight.
Oh, undulated.
Yeah. Oh, just amazing.
Undulated. Word.
Yeah, if you're interested to discover more of All India Radio, the Bandcamp page is amazing. You could purchase the entire catalog, and that's exactly what I did. And it's great background music for anything. It's good music for dishwashing. You know, you wash dishes to some.
Dishwashing, that's a good one.
I wash dishes to your music.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's so domestic.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I'm a homeowner now, and
yeah,
my fiance is learning all about some All India Radio. Yeah. What kind of music are you listening to these days that's really motivating you to create?
Interesting. Well, I've in the last few weeks I've bought my first death metal records. Oh, sorry, I should say black metal records. There's a Swiss band called Darkspace, and I think it's described as ambient black metal or something like that. You know, I mean, you know that the genres are just sort of splintered out everywhere, but it's absolutely mind-blowing. It's ambient passages of synth and just distorted guitar, and then a song comes in, and then it goes back to the ambient sounds. I'm just really, I don't think I'm going to play music exactly like that, but it's doing something in my head that makes me want to go in a direction, and I've kind of been heading in that direction anyway. So I bought that, and the latest Darkthrone album too, which is really good. So that's the direction I'm going in against all the odds, and let's see what comes of it.
It's really badass. Maybe in a few years I'll be interviewing again. You'll have full, makeup on. Maybe some.
I'm gonna. I gotta get a wig. I really got to get a wig. No, there must be some bald metal people out there, surely. Well, of course there is, Devin, but
Yeah, you bring up Devin, and I know we talked a little bit about that last time. You collaborated with him. You contacted him through Instagram, I take it, to create
Twitter. That one was Twitter, actually.
Twitter, okay.
Yeah,
the song Sula Guin, if I said that correctly.
Yeah, that's good enough.
Okay, yeah, that's definitely one of my most listened to All India Radio songs, Sula Guin, off of what's the record called, Martian?
Afterworld.
Yes.
Yeah.
Afterworld, which, all right, I love the new record's artwork. I love it, but I don't know. There's something about this that takes me to.
Yeah, that was good artwork too.
Like LoVullo, Lord of the Rings kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just beautiful. But working with Devin, you just sent him the audio track, or how did that come about?
He approached me originally he liked one of my songs from an earlier album, and he wanted to do a cover of it, not a straight cover, but a reworking of it. So he approached me, and of course I said yes. And then a year or two later, I went back to him to say, look, I've got this song. I really need some guitar on it. Would you be interested in just doing a little bit of guitar for me? And he graciously said yes, and did guitar, did vocals, did keyboards. So very generously, and sent them back to me within a couple of weeks, and that was that. It was great. I must have caught him at an in-between time for him, so he had the time to do it, because he's a busy guy.
Yes, he is. A future guest on I Ask No One, just like Martian Kennedy here of All India Radio. And man, I listen to your shit every day, every single day. It calms me. It slows it down for me.
Thank you.
And and I just I'm really really appreciative of that. And is there someone that you would like to collaborate with on a future death metal record that you're going to create, or is there someone that that you'd love to bounce ideas off of?
Oh, look at it. It would actually be Devin Townsend, but it's never going to happen. The guy is so busy. But he's got the best of both worlds going. He's got that ambient side of him. His voice is absolutely glorious when it's soft and also when it's powerful. So he's got the ambient weirdness and the metal edge. I don't know if you'd be interested in mixing or something like that, or even just a song or two, but that would be ideal. Apart from that, my local guy, Joe, who did the current album, I'd go back to him as well.
Have you ever heard of Porcupine Tree and Steven Wilson?
Yeah. Or he'd be a go-to mixing guy, but I imagine he'd be in such demand. I'd have to join the queue to get him.
You kind of look like him. You look like him without hair, of course.
Without the hair.
Yeah. And I really music elicits a feeling, and that's what it's all about. Those wavelengths. And all India radio, same thing. Porcupine Tree, it really hits me and my twin brother, I will say. And you know, that's the great thing about music, isn't it? It helps you stay in the present moment and makes you feel fucking good. And that's what this new record makes me feel fucking good, man. I love what I'm hearing. I love the palm mute. I love the constant creation. Your customer service skills are amazing.
Important. Yeah.
You know, and
I'll try to keep creating.
Yeah, dude, we're just off the cuff right now, but I've since I've seen you, I've sold about 100 homes all throughout Western New York. And and I've just been, this is to all my viewers too, and our viewers, that, you know, balance is important. You know, all real estate, home, you know, your personal, your family life. How do you balance? I mean, I'm sure you always want to like, you know, create and stay in your room and messy it up, but you got a personal life too, and right?
Yeah, of course. Yeah. Just out the window here, I've got a beautiful view of the ocean, so that's wonderful just to look at that. But I do gardening. I have a vegetable patch, and I spend time doing that to get away. That's the first thing I head to when I need to get away from music and recording in the studio. Just go straight out into the veggie garden, dig some weeds, plant some plants. That's it, really. That takes my mind off everything, and just concentrates me.
Do you cook?
Oh yeah, I love to cook too. Yeah. I'm a bit I'm lazier these days, and I do most of the cooking in the house for my wife, because she has the real job, 9 to 5. So I'm kind of the house husband and do cooking and the gardening and stuff like that.
Does your wife like your music?
Yes, she does. She does. And sometimes I wish she'd be a little bit more critical, but she really does like it.
What's her name?
Hilary.
Hilary, okay.
Yeah.
I don't know if I know any alien terms that rhyme with Hilary, but I'll just stick with Martian.
No, yes. Usually when we say Hilary to people, they go, Clinton, Hillary Clinton.
Yeah, sure. I never knew you were married to Hillary Clinton.
Yeah.
Well, have you gone to any concerts lately that stood out to you? How's everything going with the pandemic here in 2022 in Australia and Tasmania?
We're kind of all over it now. Everything's opened up. I don't go to many concerts. A lot of bands don't come to Tasmania because it's a little island and it's not worth their financial while. So I go up to Melbourne, which is the next biggest city, and see bands. But look, I haven't seen anything in ages, and I'm hoping Roger Waters brings his latest show to Australia. That'd be good. Yeah, there's nothing. Oh, there's a band called Midnight Oil, amazing long-running Australian band, and they're doing their final concerts. So I'm going to Melbourne to see them. And I grew up with them as a teenager, just loved them for years. So they're saying goodbye, which is a bit sad, but yeah, nothing else on the horizon, no live music for me for a long time, unfortunately.
Yeah. Okay. I remember last time we had our chat, you brought up Midnight Oil.
Oh, did I?
Yeah, any songs that we should check out by Midnight Oil now that they're on their final tour?
Yeah, the album called Diesel and Dust, which is probably their biggest album, and that broke them in America, from what I can recall. And before that, there was an album called 1098765431, which we just called 1098. That was an amazing album, and that was released in '82, and it was about, you know, nuclear disarmament, and had a really fantastic sound to it. Just a great album.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I'm going to include a link below to that kind of music. And the generator of all infinity, man. Really happy for you. Very excited for you, and for anyone that has the pleasure of learning it, listening to it, learning more about All India Radio and what you are all about. And that is always just a good vibes in the present moment. And I gotta say, there's a moment, at least on the live stream, that I like your commentary and your music, where you have someone like, oh, you are now entering, you know, this planet's atmosphere or something. You had that in Mars. Like, what do you hire? Is that Hilary speaking?
No, that's they're just samples. So they're samples of there's a cult in the 70s, and they were called a UFO cult. I forget the name of them, but they would worship UFOs and would think that aliens were coming down to save them, and it was pretty innocuous stuff. But they were harmless. But they made these videos and full of all these, you know, amazing quotable quotes. So I borrowed a few of those and included them on the album. Okay. So the lady who says the Mars stuff, that was her telling everyone about going to Mars on a psychic trip to Mars. Completely unironic. You know, I mean, they were very serious about this, but yeah, it's just fascinating.
Yeah, really, it's part of the experience. Part of the experience of listening to your music. And you know, we don't, us fans, we don't have the pleasure of seeing too much of you on videos, you know, in this kind of form. Is there anything that you'd like to share with the All India fans of new and old, of what to expect in this new chapter of yours?
Well, no, I'm not really sure myself. I hope folks really like the new album, and I kind of feel as though I want to apologize for it, because it's so different from the earlier stuff. But yeah, I'm not going to apologize.
No.
I mean, you don't have to listen to it if you don't want to. But yeah, so I just hope people like it, and then we'll see what comes next.
Yeah, you're evolving, and that's amazing. Eyes ahead.
Yeah.
Don't turn around.
Yeah.
And I'd like to hang out again here soon, man, and talk a little Pink Floyd.
Yeah, that'd be good.
Yeah.
You could do a whole series of podcasts.
Yeah. Woo! Man, I just want to say thank you for creating stuff that I really connect with.
Thanks for having me on. Really appreciate it.
Yeah. Well, the generator of all infinity, September 16th, check it out. Bandcamp, all his links I'm going to include right below. Right here is the creator of music that I listen to more than anyone else. And it's been that way for the past, I'd say 3 to 4 years. So,
wow. Thank you, Kevin.
Rock and roll, man. And you're still alive. That gum didn't kill you.
No, I am still alive. There's a little bit left over for later.
All India Radio is just getting started, just like Lars and Metallica said. And I Ask No One is just getting started. We thank you very much. And Martin.
Thank you, Kevin. Bro. You too. Thanks for having me on.
Absolutely. See you, man.
See you.